Hey guys, I'm back, and Jess and I actually have been watching this show, this YouTube TV series called The Chosen, about the life of Jesus and his disciples. Maybe some of you guys have heard about it, and it's awesome so far. I can be pretty nitpicky about movies and shows that depict Jesus, and so far, so good on this one. But as we were watching it last night, they actually do a particularly good job of depicting Mary Magdalene so far, especially in the first episode. And so it just got me thinking about her life and just turning back to the scriptures to see what the Bible actually says about Mary Magdalene. So here's a short little sketch about what the Bible does and does not say about Mary Magdalene. So, as far as her background, all we know is that she was from a small little town called Magdala, and this was a small little fishing town that was close to Galilee. It says later on that once Mary Magdalene started following Jesus, that she was one of the women that was supporting him financially. And so a lot of people have speculated that she was either wealthy or she was a woman of some resources. So, but that's just a guess, since she was financially supporting him. And then finally, as for her background, we know, and this is the most famous thing about her, is that she was delivered from 7 demons, which is pretty intense. And again, watch the first episode of The Chosen, because they do a pretty good job showing what that might have been like, because whatever it did look like, it would have been intensely painful, agonizing, and shameful in first century Israel to be demonized, or in any generation. It would have been awful. So she's also mentioned 12 times in the Gospels, which is more than most of the apostles. Interestingly, she was one of the few followers that was present with Jesus at the cross. And the most famous thing, probably the most special distinction about her, is that she was the first person that Jesus appeared to after his resurrection. Real quickly, what does the Bible not say about her? Because there's a lot of craziness going around about Mary Magdalene. You might have heard some of it. It doesn't say that she had an immoral past, actually. That's actually a misnomer. The Catholic Church taught that for 1,400 years, and it just is not in the Bible. So she is not the same girl as the Luke 7 woman who anointed Jesus' feet, who is known as a sinful woman, and she's not the same as Mary of Bethany, who also anointed Jesus with perfume and sat at his feet and listened to him. Those are probably 3 different women, actually, and throughout church history, those women have been conflated, but they're probably different. So that's one of my pet peeves, actually, is when in sermons those women are all treated as the same person when they're not. The Bible also doesn't say that she married the Apostle John, which is another weird rumor about her. And basically, don't believe anything you hear about Mary Magdalene except for what's in the Bible, because there's some weird stuff. So the best part of her story, though, is when Jesus does appear to her after his resurrection. So I'm going to read that. We're going to end with that passage. John 20, it says, "Now Mary stood outside the tomb crying. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw 2 angels in white seated where Jesus' body had been, one at the head and the other at the foot." And I like what Ken Geyer, the author, says. He says, "The woman who was once possessed by demons is now in the presence of angels. They asked her, the angels, 'Woman, why are you crying?' 'They have taken my Lord away,' she said, 'and I don't know where they have put him.'" I love that Mary, just her thoughts are fixed on Jesus. At this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize that it was Jesus. It's so fascinating to me that Jesus shows up disguised as a humble gardener. He asked her, "Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for? The first words after the resurrection. Woman, why are you crying? Thinking he was the gardener, she said, Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him. Jesus said to her, one word, Mary. She turned toward him and cried out in Aramaic, Rabboni, which means teacher. And it goes on a little bit from there, but just beautiful that of all the people Jesus could have appeared to, he chose Mary Magdalene, who had this shameful, agonizing past. But you could say that Jesus appeared to her first because she sought him first. She put him first above all else. And he even commissioned her from that point to go tell the other apostles that he had risen. So my prayer for today is that we would seek Jesus first, that we would draw near to him, and we would be as close to him as Mary Magdalene was. Bless you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.